China's military equipment reserves secure second place globally. The weapons and equipment stored here, it's literally uncountable. Those decommissioned tanks and planes from the Cold War, where did it all go? Return to the 1960s. China and the Soviet Union fell out with the former alliance. China immediately felt the pressure from the north. The country is ready for war. He proposed digging a hole. Hero Kira's slogan of never doing anything hegemonic. Call on the common people to prepare for war. Over the next 30 years, this fire seemed to never go out. Our country's defense industry works day and night. The fire on the production line is red. Our country's Type 56 rifle bullet production can reach more than 30 billion rounds. There are also 11 million Type 56 semi-automatic rifles. Type 56 submachine gun, 3 million. Type 54 pistols, 35 million. Countless Type 40 rocket launchers and Type 81 rifles. Don't say. The amount of Type 67 grenades is also jaw-dropping. Who would have dared to think? This is 1971 production. You can use 20,000 trains full of leather. I can't even count them in the factory. And that was our dream. The number of grenades has to make the group round. Every Chinese has 3. And elementary school kids are no exception. Our country will do whatever it takes. Pour all the resources and manpower into the defense office. Not for show. We're really a role model. Thank you for the hard work at that time. In exchange for our decades of peace and stability, until the historic collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, the shadow of the North has finally dissipated. Sino-US relations have also entered a sweet period. At this time, our country has accumulated a large amount of armaments. It's sort of anachronistic. At that time, our country decided to cooperate with the Western countries, especially when media makes a big business. I'm going to sell them this outdated equipment. The United States was quite malicious at first. Then I got a little flustered. I didn't expect us to stock up at all. Accumulated such a huge arsenal. And the price is too conscientious. 54 pistols for $30. 56 charges are sold for $100. This price is cost-effective. Almost made American arms dealers drink the Northwest wind. And in the end, America's leaders panicked. Decisively drew a red line for the entry of Chinese armaments. Media doesn't want it now. We set our sights on the Middle East. How did you know that our equipment is of high quality and low price? Turned into a hot baby there? Whether it is Iran, Syria is still Saudi Arabia. But the orders you receive can be dazzling. American brothers in Iraq. Estimate. I have also tasted the taste of bullets made in China. Despite the enthusiasm in the Middle East market. But that huge arms stockpile is really hard to digest. Now, the equipment is still in good storage by us. Like a maintenance baby. I said maybe I can use it later. As for those grand old 59 tanks, these iron guys are stable. Less wear and tear. At a glance, people are reluctant to dismantle and sell scrap iron directly. The military decisively decided to upgrade. Install them with new fire control and power systems. There we go. These little guys look like 96. The Type 909 main battle tank looks the same. The combat power is not inferior. There are already several countries. Are you eyeing our new batch of tanks? The future export prospects are promising. The size of the Chinese Air Force's fleet. The world is second only to the United States. Second. This also means that we have to deal with a large number of the problem of airplanes entering their twilight years. The next 20 years, the Chinese Air Force will welcome many. Peak of aircraft retirement. About 100 aircraft need to be retired on average every year. The current Chinese Air Force. Accumulated retired aircraft. There are over 3,000 of them. Aged 12 years and older warbirds. The proportion has gradually become significant. It's projected to go up to 15% in the near future. It's not just fighter jets that are being decommissioned. Ground attack machine and heavyweight bombers are also listed. How to properly handle so many decommissioned aircraft? Definitely not a few simple math problems. The options of outright demolition or destruction are fundamentally different. So these old and strong iron birds, where will it go? There's an airport in Lushan County, Hainan Province. It covers an area of over 2,500 acres. This is the Sunset Red nursing home for old planes. The employees here are busy every day. Maintain and lubricate aircraft. As long as the oil is full, you can still soar into the sky. The fighter jets on this fight screen. Just our country trees. Part of a massive decommissioned fighter jet. Just say 6. Production has broken through the 5,800 mark. Many of them have already passed on to the armies of other countries. For example, the Brethren of Afira. The remaining 3,000 plus room 6. It is well preserved in the cave. Fairly well maintained. The military revealed. The research team is giving that batch a good state of preservation. The J-6 fighter jet wears a smart coat. Install them with advanced signal reception, automatic flight control and infrared director system. Also integrated Beidou navigation. Let them transform. Become the key point to defeat the enemy. Cruise missiles with real-time long-range strikes. The upgraded J-6 missile, approved to touch 1.5 tons. The combat range has also been expanded to 1,500 kilometers. The appearance and combat power on the battlefield have skyrocketed. Exit route is also a powerful way to solve the problem of old aircraft. Although compared to the new gadgets from the United States and Russia, our retired military aircraft are indeed a little older. But in the markets of Southeast Asia and Africa, these planes are still great value for money. The degree of hot sales does not decrease. Take cheating as an example. Although it has a long history, still top in performance. For some countries with weak armed forces, it's even more powerful. For a while, China has donated a truck to Cambodia. Military vehicle. Although there is some alcohol in the battlefield, the prosecution is still very happy. If they get hit by a few decommissioned planes, presumably happy and blooming mouth, those traitors, it will definitely be picked up by the Air Force as a sweetheart. Can't put it down. However, the versatility of this cylindrical model is a bit limited. Suitable are those in good condition. A few years to live, old gun. If the plane is too old, closed circuit wear is too heavy. It's not worth much. The movement of the Navy is even more conspicuous. Various fashionable ships, launched in recent years. A large number. The ruler is sturdy. Shocking enough. The South China Sea disputes were hot in 2016. The Chinese Navy's warship construction is like hyped up. The number and tonnage of new ships launched each year add up. Can rival the French Navy? This speed is seen throughout the Navy. Sri is also unique. As new ships enter service in batches, the old ships in the sea have been accelerated and retired. But actually, these decommissioned ships are in pretty good condition. Like those 056 boats that just hung up their boots. 10 years of ups and downs. Worth enough to serve in other navies. In order to live up to their residual heat, the Navy has humanized this group of veterans. Transfer them to Seascape. Give them a stage to play their lingering warmth. After a little renovation. These old boat stations. It can still surprise the enemy. Speaking of equipment reserves, my big China is hidden. Ranked second in the world. All kinds of guns. Tanks and fighter jets have been dispatched. 2 world wars is enough. The Russian-Ukrainian one shouted confrontation and knocked us. The police equipment is aging, which is a hard injury. Existing weapons care in our country. And let military experts, for those who have one foot on the retirement line, put on fireworks. Longer life. Whatever. Our military resources must never come from making the world. Recently, some people have made various claims about the China threat, and our country's response was unequivocal. China engages in armaments to protect its people. We never offer assistance to certain countries, spread fear around the world, let alone do such a domineering and unreasonable thing.